Well, welcome again to Compound Online with Dr. Deborah Coulter-Harris. Tonight we're going to be talking about your first major writing project, which is your Earth Memory narrative. James Olney states that memory and narrative, together and alike, are the two major epiphenomena of consciousness, the dual defining conditions of our being human and not something else. So what James Olney is saying is that the human memory, our ability to recall events earlier in our life, or recall what we've read, or recall what we've seen, that together with our ability to tell a story, separates us from the lower order of nature. You know, after reading Plan B 4.0, Mobilizing to Save Civilization, I began to think of the forest I grew up in back home in Massachusetts. We owned acres of pine and birch trees which were intersected with brooks. Our mountain forest was a virtual aviary and animal sanctuary. There was another forest nearby called Peel's Woods, through which we walked to grade school every morning. That forest is now completely gone, and new and empty houses sit where trees once stood and animals once roamed. So the directions for this are fairly simple. You are going to create your own Earth Memory narrative. You will write about and select images that recall a special place in nature that has meant a lot to you. This place may not have changed or could have disappeared altogether. Try to write about and connect photos or images, good place to get that is from Google, that recall events or moments in your life that relate to this special place in nature. You might even have graphics that your own graphics that you could upload. You know, this place could be a park, your backyard, a farm, a stream where you went fishing, a beach that you visited, whatever. And for those of you who didn't grow up in the country, who grew up in the city, it's the same thing. Was there perhaps a playground that meant something to you? Or an urban school and its recreation area that meant something to you? Was it a gymnasium? Was it a baseball field? Whatever you want. But what you have to ask yourself is, why was this place important to you? Has it changed for better or for worse? What has been the impact of any changes in this place on your life or on your community? So for this writing project, I expect you to write 2 to 4 pages of text and use a minimum of 4 images. Your narrative text will constitute 50 possible points, and your selection of images will constitute another 50 points. Remember, the images must also enhance your story and tell the story just as your words tell the story. So I hope this clarifies any confusion that you might have had about this particular project. And if you have questions, just email me. And thanks, and have a good evening. Bye.